shrimp. Much for joining for tasting time. Hi, I'm Katie O'Reilly, and welcome to KDO's Food Carnival. Modern retro holiday bites. How cool is that? Let's go throw a 1950s cocktail party in modern fare with our delightful cuisine. I'm going to take you to new levels and new heights with some really comfortable foods that you might remember from your childhood. How fun is this? The entertainers and the homemakers were having fun and branching out with food in the 50s, and we're going to revamp that and make it come alive. After we do the cocktail party, I'm moving you into episode 2 with a seated dinner. Also, very retro. Modern meets retro. We're going in the kitchen and we're doing some entertaining. I'll see you at the Carnival Kitchen. The modern retro holiday bites. We are swinging it into cocktail season. This is so much fun because in the 1950s, it was all about the glassware and the garnish. The cocktails were simple and pure, but the garnish and the glassware came right out of the cupboard. You'd go shopping in the retro store, bust out those vintage glassware. They don't even need to match. Let's get that under control. We can mix and match for creativity, and you're gonna see where I'm taking you right now. The classic Manhattan, right? It was all about the Manhattan. Now, 2 options. You can go with a cherry garnish. The maraschino cherries still exist today. However, there are many gourmet versions that are not this on the market. So you decide what you want to do, but there's a lot of options out there to keep it really cool, creative, but a little bit more current. And of course, a little twist with the orange zest. I love it. You can also just add a squeeze, this little clementine, get it a little more holiday, festive, inviting, a little bit more citrusy, and voila, beautiful. Your guests are gonna love you. Okay, check out, most importantly, glassware and garnish. Gotta love it. Okay, the martini was so important way back when, and still is today. I don't know if there's a person out there that doesn't love their martini. And our current version is a martini glass. So what do we do to jazz it up? Olives. We can stuff our own olives. We have so much variety, right? You can go out and purchase stuffed olives, or you can stuff your own, which is even better. A colossal green olive. You could do blue cheese. I'm going to show you goat cheese, something totally different, with a roasted pepper, which is also a pimiento, if anybody speaks Spanish out there. But this is a hand-roasted pepper for freshness and creativity. This is going to be an olive that eats like a meal. So your martini is going to be not only super holiday festive, but it's going to be stepped up a complete notch. Check that out. And if you really want to get creative, little lemon garnish in there with it. You can do olive juice. You can do whatever you want. But this is fun. Picks have gone from frilly to really ornate. So explore your pick options as well. Champagne is always a love of most people at the holiday season. You can do whatever you want. Glassware is fun if it adds color. A little orange juice in your champagne. People love it with cranberries, raspberries, anything that brings that bright eye attracted to that glass is going to excite your guests. Rocks glasses, who doesn't remember the highball? Straight up gin is making a comeback in all countries right now. I swear, I see it everywhere. So, one of the ways to really make it current and modern is to garnish rosemary sprig. If you're really adventurous, how about a little pine in your drink? What's cooler than that, than smelling the Christmas tree as you're taking a sip? Of course, you can always add the classic lemon twist. And bites. Bites in the 50s were always served with drinks, whether it was a Chex Mix, which was always homemade because they didn't have it in a bag, or a nut mix, once again spiced from a bag was not available, so you made it handcrafted, or a beautiful cheese cracker. I've got cheddar and Parmesan Romano. One of the best things about our modern society, you can buy these if you want to. And they are still delicious and crispy, and you didn't do any work, but everybody's nibbling. Let's move on to the bites. This is going to be a fun episode. Here we are. Look at the spread for the modern retro holiday bites, and all of them are going to scream 1950s meets today. And we're going to have some fun building some things. So I'm going to start with something that I'm not going to teach you how to build, but I'm going to teach you some ingredients to build with it and some cool technique, and that is the Jell-O mold. Who doesn't remember the 1950s Jell-O mold? Okay, some made it savory, some made it sweet. The savory turned into a tomato aspic, and what I've done is layered it with slices of shrimp and made it a nice, spicy tomato aspic, almost like a Bloody Mary gelatin, which is so delicious and bright and zesty on your tongue. You can't even wait to dive in. And in contrast to that, we have a sweet Jell-O mold, which is a pina colada, because there are a lot of Hawaiian flavors influencing in the 1950s, and they have stayed a desirable trend all into today. So we all love a pina colada, and when it's made into Jell-O, even better. I've topped it with a gorgeous cherry, and if you're really creative and having a little super fun with your friends, add a little of that rum to your Jell-O when you're making it, because these are bite-sized individuals, not even the full size. I'm showing the full size because that's what used to be the case. The Jell-O mold was always a big thing. Individual bite size is the unique and delicious experience. And it's cool because even if you just want to just pick it up, you can do that. And this pina colada one with the cherry, it's layered with pineapple and coconut. That is delicious. Everything else we're using our fingers. We have so many stuffed mushrooms that could work for us. Let me show you how to stuff a mushroom. Once we jump into this kitchen, we're going to see that the mushroom has made it from the 1950s into today's culinary environment. And why are people so intimidated to make them even when they're so craveable and delicious? I'm going to show you the technique. Most importantly is get a good sized button mushroom. We love our button mushrooms in a nice, healthy variety. You don't want them wilty or anything. You want them nice and healthy. And we carve out the stem like so. You can also use a little spoon to get any extra. And what I love to do is once they're cleaned, set those stems aside. The stems are going to become an ingredient, or at least a possible ingredient, and that's going to be up to you. So no part of the mushroom is going to be thrown away. Once they're clean, they look gorgeous and full and bright. So easy to do. You can do it completely in advance. If you want to, because mushrooms hold so much water, put them on a tray and bake them for maybe 5 to 7 minutes. Get some of that water out, and they're going to appear just like so. Water's going to be removed. You're going to have no issues. So if you can see that, we're going to love that. But I'm going to show you If you don't want to pre-bake and you just want to go straight for it, let's stuff the mushroom. What are we going to stuff with? Well, I could probably name 75 different things that I love stuffed into a mushroom. So to keep it simple, I'm going to go with 3 varieties that are very popular. Sausage, crispy sausage, a little breadcrumbs, a little cream cheese. To cream it all out, some fresh herbs like parsley. Now, to start with your favorite type of Italian sausage that already has flavoring right in it. Load it right in that mushroom. And I like to make them nice and heaping. That is going to bake up beautifully, I guarantee. So easy, like I said, to do in advance. Spinach is our next favorite. Spinach is where we can put these stems in. Chop them, dice them real fine. I'm going to show you just really teeny dice because the mushroom stem adds the earthiness right back in with an already earthy spinach leaf. So we're really marrying like flavors. I like garlic. Once again, breadcrumbs are going to absorb some of that water. You can do cream cheese, cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, anything that suits your palate. Take that heaping spoonful, stuff that calf. Beautiful. And a 50s favorite is your crab stuffed mushroom. Anything decadent with seafood stuffed into a bite-sized piece worked in the 50s and it works today. Nice, gorgeous crab meat. Again, breadcrumbs, some seasonings. I like a little bay seasoning in there. And I also like, once again, a little parsley. You could do a little scallion, celery. You get creative. And the trick is that you want to make sure that all of your mushrooms and toppings taste the way you want them to and are balanced flavor before you put them in the caps. That's essential. We are going to bake these off and I'm going to show their counterpart, how cute, once they're cooked. Voila. So all you need to do is top with a little extra melted cheese and we are so good to go. Cute, petite, melty. An earthy, yummy bite with the sea mixed in, or some gorgeous sausage. And spinach too. Everything wrapped in bacon. How do we wrap things in bacon? It's simple. Don't be intimidated. Okay, back in the 50s, it was all about the water chestnut wrapped in bacon. Today's day and age, I love to wrap a goat cheese stuffed date. So I'm going to show both, but the technique is the same. Take your beautiful thin strip of bacon and cut it into about a 3-inch piece. Lay it out. This is raw bacon, but it's nice and thin. If you're doing the rumaki with the water chestnut, wrap, a nice cute coat on that one. That's going to go on your cooking tray. Again, we're going to cut about a 3-inch piece. This gets a little thin down there, so I get a little bit more length. And now the technique with the date. Take your beautiful, gorgeous date and see they are naturally slit open. So you don't even have to do that because they've been de-seeded. You take your creamy goat cheese, stuff it right on in there. Yum, because that's going to take a sweet and creamy combination when you bite into it with that salty blanket of bacon. That's why it's my favorite. And when they're done, the frilly toothpick is still in the 50s. How fun is that? These are crowd favorites. And when you get that beautiful, scented bite, your nose eats first and you just want to go there. Whether it's the chestnut or the date, bacon wrapped around anything is inviting at a party and easy to pop in your mouth. So much goodness going on there. I love a cucumber stuffed with salmon. Salmon mousse is actually a smoked salmon mousse, whipped up with a little cream cheese, cooked down slightly so it melts together, and tempers with a little bit of cream, and then chilled, put in your piping bag. You are going to see it come out beautifully. Oh, I have a pimento, a little red pepper on my finger. Look at that piping. Now, in order to control it, because it is nice and firm, we want to hold and spin the cucumber at the same time. Gorgeous. That is a gorgeous bite. And that is actually, for all intents and purposes, gluten-free for all those who care and have concern or must watch it. Parsley was the forever popular garnish. So I'm going to go with a little parsley and a little red pepper for pretty. And once it's done, it is so easy to eat at a party. That coupled with tea sandwiches, again, so simple. When making the tea sandwich, just remember there's a couple of tips and techniques. Decide your filling. I love deviled eggs, so I've decided to make a deviled egg salad and a deviled ham salad, which is kind of a twist. So kind of fun, retro, still current with those good flavors. I've added a little Dijonnaise, so a little ground ham, sliced ham, whatever you want to do, chop it up, whatever works for you. A nice ham, a little mustard, a little mayo, and a little pickle, of course, because in the 50s retro, we added pickle to everything. Egg salad is your hard-boiled eggs, mayonnaise, mustard, and you can do a little scallion or celery, whatever, once again, works for your palate. Now, the bread. I'm going to take you a little bit more modern with our bread. Even though we're going to do the same retro techniques of cutting the crust off, we're using a whole grain bread because today we get a lot more variety and a lot more graininess and health in our bread. So if you can do that, have some fun. It also, if it's a nutty, grainy bread, it adds texture and crunch without you needing to. So tea sandwiches are built in the 50s on 2 pieces. If you feel like being a little bit more carb conscious, you can definitely do open face, but I'm going to show you what was current then. Little egg salad on this. Not too much because you don't want it drippy. We want to put our lid right on there, matching our cuts. Look at the garnish. So fun. Celery leaves were huge. Olives. So I am just going with the times and I'm garnishing it up just like they used to. So cute and kitschy. That is adorably inviting. I'm using a sourdough for the ham because once again, my palate is a little bit more advanced than just the straight up white. And I think sourdough and ham salad go great together. So I've cut it into a different shape this time. I've decided to choose a triangle. Variation is always intriguing and inviting to the eye. And what, pray tell, do we garnish the ham salad with? Well, sticking with that 50s theme, let's go with the pickle. Of course, a little cornichon because they're minis, a little more acidic punch to it. And our roasted red pepper for the holidays. Christmas, it's a little holly, it's so cute. These are easy to pick up, they're very retro and user-friendly. Who doesn't love a tea sandwich at a party? So easy, not drippy, perfect. Sliders were just coming on the scene. Sliders we see at every party these days, and they were really unique in the 50s. There are easy tips and tricks. Let me show you. Just recall, the slider was just rearing its beautiful face on our culinary scene in the 1950s, and everybody wanted to serve them at their party. And that's what we still want to do today, because when you see a slider, a nice grilled, greasy slider at a party, you want to take a bite. So what do we do to ease ourselves as the host or hostess at a party and still enjoy ourselves? I am going to show you one of the tips and techniques of the secrets behind cooking. You can make your patties in advance and char mark them on your grill. Still a little bit rare because you're going to want a juicy slider because we all want some life to our meat. After that, we melt it with a little cheese. We build it. You can pre-grill your onions, saute them up. Everybody loves a burger with, look at how cute these buns are too, with sauteed onions. Ketchup is a fan favorite. A little bit on that lid, and then just place your little slider burger right there, and your frilly toothpick. And here we have it, this melty, yummy, delicious slider. That is fantastic. Every guest loves those. And it's fun because it was new back then, but everybody welcomes it. It's like the invited homey comfort food at the party. And where else are we going? Everything had height, and beauty was in how high you could build it. The triple-decker club sandwich. All the rage. I am starting us off with some gorgeous toasted brioche bread. And you've got a nice toast, but not too firm. What I love to do is glaze our bread with a little mayo. Spread that out nice. And let's start the building and the fun. The thin sliced smoky bacon or turkey is delightful. This is the turkey. And then we come up with these beautiful savory hickory smoked bacon. Crispy bacon is always ideal. And let's do a little layer of tomato. And iceberg, of course, was the only lettuce available, so we're going to stick with that varietal. And it's got good watery consistency and crunch for our sandwich. I'm then taking a grainy piece of whole wheat bread for our inner layer because we don't want that layer too thick with bread. We want to once again build with our mayo, nice moisture. Spread that all over, and this time I'm going to do a little layer of tomato on this one. Then build with our bacon, and the reason for that is the tomato on the bread on this one is going to moisten that inside of the sandwich. And the way you build a sandwich, we all know, is the way you taste a sandwich. And that's what makes it ever so inviting, and you want that second bite. And once again, every time you're working with lunch meat, take the layers apart. Get that airiness. Feel that texture in your sandwich because that's what allows your tongue to really experience the flavors. Topping it with that crisp lettuce. And finally, our last toasted brioche. A Montoya sandwich. That is huge, right? I am going to not just pick it, I'm going to skewer it for when I cut it, in red and green, of course. And what we want to do is cut it in our cocktail size. So, once in half, and then we're going to brace ourselves to look at that sandwich. And see, with these skewers, once again, they're going to hold it in place. Take your knife, straight down, cut through. Oh, we're doing well. Lost one little piece of bacon, but not a problem. We can stick it right back in. Look at that. When your friends come over, if you don't like these big skewers, of course, the frilly toothpick. How cute is that? Height and deliciousness all in one. And when you pull that pick out and you look at that highly built flavor bomb, that is something everybody enjoys eating. And last but not least, our seafood salad lobster roll. This is how we do it. I'm going to show you. Let's start with our bread because this is really an easy part. You go and you get yourself some Hawaiian bread and you saute it up in a little butter in your pan so it's nice and crisp and soft and buttery. Slice it from the top. That's always a cool technique. And for the seafood salad, I'm going to make it like a lobster roll, but it's actually scallops and shrimp. So I have taken these gorgeous sea scallops, and you can see I've already diced them up, kind of chunked them a little bit, because I like it nice and chunky in that bun, so you get a good, meaty, toothsome bite. But these are beautiful scallops. And then take your shrimp, cleaned, deveined, tail off, and once again, we're gonna get some bigger chunks out of these so that we get that real taste of the sea when we dive in. All right, I'm making just a small portion right now because later on I'll be filling a whole tray, but I just wanna show you really quick. Mince into a small dice, somewhere in between depending on how much crunch, celery and onion, and add a good amount, but nothing to overwhelm because those are seasonings. They're not the full flavor. You don't want to override your seafood flavor. And then of course, the creaminess comes from mayonnaise, but then it gets nice and highlighted. So you can decide how much creaminess you want in that. But another added lift is a little hint of vinegar. I'm gonna tell you, just add to flavor because taste is everything when it comes to this, and your taste buds will tell you if it's enough, if it's not enough, and how creamy you like it. After that, I'm gonna say absolutely salt and pepper goes so far when it comes to a dish like this. It just allows those flavors to nicely burst. If you want to, you can add a little lemon, but sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. And when we go to fill, we just stuff that so beautifully. And we kind of want to overstuff. I'm going to tell you, be a little bit gluttonous on this one because this is a beautiful, delicious, very inviting party treat. Celery leaves were actually an herb, and they were the most desired part of the celery plant at first until we discovered the stem. But I say you use it whenever possible because it really highlights and bursts in your palate and brings kind of like a tanginess that you're unexpected. And of course, the beauty of the leaf. So, our seafood roll. So fun at a party, don't you think? This is really cool. And again, here we are. So easy to eat, nice crispy buttery end, celery garnish. I think everyone is loving your retro holiday party. This is modern retro holiday bites. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. See you next time on the Carnival. Thanks for joining.